Okay, welcome to ETN News. We're looking at the earthquakes first, and then we're going to look at the anomalies, see if we can get a better understanding of those going across the North American plate. Heat waves under the surface. Now you can see Hawaii coming out on the slump. This one here is connected to the slump. We got the shelf. There's a couple over this way. Something's bound to happen there pretty soon, the way all that is. Now we got one small quake on the Strait of Juan de Fuca, 0.7, 7.3 miles deep. Mount St. Helens. We got 9 small quakes. It's swarming. And Mount Rainier, got a small one there, maybe 2. I done forgot. I know there's 9 on Mount St. Helens. And we got one out here on the Blanco fracture zone coming toward the Oregon. On the Gordia escarpment, got this one, and this is part of the Cascadia, even though it's on land a little bit. 2.0 west of Rio Dale, California, 13.8 miles deep. Got this one here around Bishop. Let me see, 2.6 northwest of West Bishop, 4.3 miles deep. Nothing down toward Las Vegas. You can still see the fault the way it's made down through there. And down here, still getting aftershocks around Malibu, out from Los Angeles, northwest. And right here on the Elsinore fault, we got a swarm going on. We only got a 2.2, but it's northwest. Let me see. West-northwest of Lake Henshaw, California. That one is 6.6 miles deep. Let's see how deep these small ones are. 0.7, 8.2 miles deep. So we got a swarm going on there. And it is the Elsinore Fault Zone, Julian section, Southern California. We can handle some large quakes on the Elsinore. Okay, Texas, not much going on compared to what's usually going on there. In Oklahoma, let's see what these are. Quarry Blast. The new major seismic zone, 2.2, southeast of Marston, Missouri, 5.8 miles deep. And I think that's about it over this way. Not showing anything else. And Alaska, the way it's coming up through here, we only got one 3.3, I think. Yeah, it's a 3.3, 78.9 miles deep. That is a little bit west of Anchorage. The rest of those are small quakes. It's not backing up like it was. Here's what Canada is showing. Okay, that's about the same thing we was looking at a few moments ago. Reported shaking. That is south of British Columbia. It looks like it's right on the border of Washington. Okay, those are small quakes. Here is the 2.5s and greater. This one's a 2.8 west of Bandon, Oregon. 2.9 west of Ferndale, California. A 3.4 east southeast of Lemon Rock. 5.8 miles deep. And a 2.6 northwest of Bishop. And 2.6 east of Goatfield, 7.3 miles deep. 2.7 northwest of Parkfield, California, 2.7 miles deep. And then we got this swarm down here to 3.2 north of Malibu, 6.8 miles deep, California. And a 2.5 northeast of Tilden, Texas. And the deepest quake we have is over here, and it is a 4.5, Marina Islands region, 118.3 miles deep. You can see what kind of activity we've been getting over here. You can imagine what kind of activity of 2.5s and under that we're getting, or 4.2s. All they'll show us over here is a 4.2 and greater. So you can imagine the smaller quakes than 4s that they're getting over here. We're still watching for the large quake, even though we got this one here, 5.7, south-southeast of Japan, 18.0 miles deep. And all this activity here, I still see it being released because we got this coming down through California. So we're still getting a release. So we're still looking for the 6.0 or greater for sure, but I'm leaning toward a 6.9 to a 7 plus. That's what it looks like to me, but we'll see. Now, this is the thermal anomaly that we see. You can see the heat coming up, and it's moving all the way across the North American plate. This is NASA's picture, the picture that they took themselves, talking about the anomalies. This here is anomalies, just the same as we have over here. Now let me back this up. You can see the anomalies here, and over this way. Now the thing about it is you can watch this move, in case if you're new here to the channel. This is the 7th. Let's go to, that's on the 7th. Let's go to the 8th, September. You can see it move over. Watch it move over so you can understand more about what I'm going to show you here in a moment. Okay, 9th. You can see it moving on over. 10th. It goes all the way over and across the east, off the east coast. The spots that's blocked out is where it's storming, like down in here it's storming. On the 12th, had some storms come through there, so it's blocking the satellite. And that one's the 13th. Now, did you see how this moved across? Let's zoom in. Now, this here is the darkest spot, California. What we do is zoom in here and see what all was going on with these spots. They're just popping up here and there, but like fires. When we got fires, let's go down here to a fire, and this one here. This is around the park. I was, pretty sure it started from someone starting a fire, just at the fire pit or something. Now you see the anomalies in this. It's got anomaly spots that popped up during this. Now, it can't be part of the fire because it moves. It comes on across the plate. This here. You can see how it looks like that. It's a darker, real dark red spot. Now, come on up here around Idaho. Now, Idaho was really on fire the other day. It was fires everywhere, big fires. And you can see the anomaly spots in some of these fires in some spots. You see all them little spots in there? Now, there's some spots I found that was work areas, but where they're drilling. So if they're drilling down and cracking the crust, drilling down through the surface for the thermal and stuff, and the oil wells, things like that, when they're drilling, and they got a weak spot there. So when the anomaly comes across, it shows at a work area. So when you go down, you spot it's just a work area, it's just a flame from that. Well, you got to look. This moves across. So here it's not over here right now like that. But then you put this on the 8th. That was the 7th. Then we got Idaho up here. Look at the anomalies popping up around these hot spots, fires. Some of them ain't. Some of them started from something else, but these are popping up in the middle of these fires. And we got some work areas, like down here in Texas. Well, it's over here right now, but let me back it up. Get it to where it's starting out over here on this side. That's the 9th, 10th. Okay, here's the 10th. Right around the drill points. Okay, when the heat under the surface comes across, it's hitting the weak spots. Wherever the weakest spot is, it will show up as thermal, heat coming up. Like right here, you can see it right in the middle. So right there is the drill point. Right here's the drill point where they drilled. Even though the office may be over here, when they drill them line, the pipes go down so far into the ground, and then they go diagonally at an angle. That's the drill points. That's why they're showing up there. And you got them all over here. So this is the weakest spots when it comes across from where they're drilling. Even though it's a work area, that doesn't mean that it's coming from the work area, because we watch it go across the plate. There's no way it could come from the work area. And right here it's got weak spots, and it's not even at the fire spot. Back this up. See if we can see another one here. Look at this, Las Vegas. Over here where they're working. One spot right here, little bitty tiny spot around Las Vegas on that side. Now let's go over here. Now over in here, it's where we got another fault that comes in. And even though it's showing up as a work area or something like that, it's got the anomaly popped up. So that's whatever's right there is causing a weak spot. Or it wouldn't be letting the heat come up toward the surface. And then this one here, you see it's some kind of work outfit. But it's a weak spot. Because fires doesn't move. And over toward the east side, I can't tell what that is, if it's a house or looks like a community. It don't look like a workplace, but that's a weak spot. So if you study this, you know where the weak spots are at when the anomalies come through. Like over here, right up through the new major seismic zone, it gets real thick every time. Over toward the east, up toward Pennsylvania, all the way down past New York into North Carolina, real bright, a lot of heat, droughts. It brings droughts, storms, heat causes storms, and things like that. But these weak spots, it just shows where your weak area is at. So when you study this map, there's a lot more to trying to figure out if you're going to get an eruption here, or up here on the volcanic ridge. It's hard to keep up with all this, but you get weak spots, and you got to watch those weak spots. Like if it's a weak spot right here, let's go back to the 1st of September. Let's see. Not much. We got to go to 2nd. Let's see where our weak spots are at, and then you can go through here, and when the anomalies pop up, like up this way, where we're getting the fires up north, all of them is not from weak spots though, but some of them are. It shows it. It shows the anomaly inside of it, like this one up here at Oregon. Look at that fire. What would cause the anomaly to show up in that? And it's got a pattern. You can, like a fault coming around, It's got anomalies in it. So that means that's a weak area right there. But we got to watch this when you're checking it out and go back and review and see where all your weak spots are at. And the thickest part, and that's what shows us, and that's why I say all the time, the east is getting just as hot as the west. Even though it's green over here, that don't mean anything. That green can die out within a year, just like a drought. Within a year, it could dry everything up. This here's bringing a lot on the east, making it a lot hotter. Okay, but anyway, let's see what it shows for the 14th. It's not showing anything. It's not downloaded yet. And that would be today, but it's too early to download. But you can see right here, it's going right down through Texas. And the weakest spot right now is up in here, and let me see. It may get a little bright. Okay, all the way down south of San Francisco, over towards Stockton. What is that? Yuba City. Chico, all the way up south of Red Bluff. That is the weakest spot right now that's showing, as you can see right here. Except for all this. This is going to start causing damage all the way up to New York. It's going to start causing a lot of damage. If you notice, most of the heat is over here. It starts out around Texas and comes across. Over this way is usually not much heat that starts out, except for this here. That's a weak spot. San Francisco, around that area. Alright, I hope you can understand what I'm talking about. You got to zoom in. You zoom in, you see a workplace. You say, oh, that's just a workplace. There's nothing there. Well, how does it move across the plate if there's nothing there? It's anomaly, and NASA confirmed it themselves. It is anomalies. And this here will be over this way tomorrow. We got 5 of these. Actually, you know, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they move across like a wave, like ocean waves, and then come back across again. It starts all over. And this is the firm's fire map. You can check it out and see what you think. And on it, at the top, you see Landsat, 30 meters. But it's Landsat, and then it's got a little info thing over to the right. If you click on this map and click on that, or just remember to click on the dark red box. That's anomalies. Dark red. And then you can read up on it and see what I'm talking about. These anomalies moving across the plate. Alright, we got one more thing to look at, and that's the storms. And this one here is coming around and going up out in the North Atlantic Ocean, you know, heading on upwards up north. This one's still coming across, 0% chance, so they're looking for it to die out. This one got up to 45 miles per hour. Gordon, tropical storm, well, they gave it a name. And 50% chance of disturbance in 7 days on the east coast. Mexico, Lena, 40 mile per hour tropical storm. And then this one here's low chance of starting, but this one going toward China is 75 mile per hour, well, 80 right there. 75 mile per hour typhoon coming in. That's all I see on that. Alright, I hope I helped you understand a lot more about the fire map, and watch for that large earthquake like we was talking about last night. And I'll see you on the next updates. Everybody stay safe, and we'll be watching.